We're live, my dude.
Hey.
How's it going today?
Good. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, bro. Hella so... Damn, my coffee almost fell. Okay, yeah. Hella excited. This is going to be the first official podcast. I've done one before. It was just a little test. Put a little clip out there, whatever. But today is the first episode. Actual podcast. We got my guy Logan here. I'm going to give you like a couple minutes. Go ahead and tell everything you want to tell about yourself. It's just like a platform. Say what you want to say, what you do, and how we met, all that stuff. Go ahead, man.
For sure, man. So my name is Logan Paulik. I'm 28 years old. Kind of how we met was I bought the house next door to them as an investment property, and I just been working on it for months and months, and just been going hard at it. Finally got on the market, so I'm just here. Normal job, 9 to 5, is I'm a construction equipment operator. So just heavy machinery, excavators, dozers, and stuff like that. I don't even know if you knew that, but
I didn't even know that. You told me you worked somewhere, but not
yeah. So that's what I do on the side. I had that excavator over there, so kind of knew somewhat of what I was doing. So yeah, kind of just 20 years old, just construction, and then.
Wait, so how old are you? 28.
28. Yeah, I was 27 when we met, but had a birthday. Yeah.
When was your birthday?
September 14th. Yeah. So yeah, man, just in the game, trying to be a real estate investor and trying to do the construction, so trying to mix them, man. Just it's been cool, man. It's been cool. It's been a journey.
So yeah, tell me like, how did this all start? So like, because when I see people like you, like people who are like really into something or they're really good at something, I always wonder like, how does it start at first? Like, where do you start? What happens? Like, what sparks all of it and all that stuff? So just get into that a little bit.
Definitely. So yeah, man, just like, I feel like ever since I was young, man, like my dad, he did the same kind of work I did, but he was a crane operator. And just like in the summers, it'd be like 6 a.m, I'm asleep. He's like, hey, you got work to do today. You know what I mean? Wake me up. And I'm like, man, it's summer, and when you're young, you don't really get it. You're just like, man, this sucks, dude. But you kind of just drilled that in me just to have that hard work ethic and everything like that. So, I mean, all the jobs I've done, I've always haven't done construction, but I've always just like worked hard and just kind of put in the OT, and you know what I mean? Just kind of just go type of guy.
Just hustle.
Yeah.
Hustle.
And I got hella energy, so I got to get it out somehow.
And so you say, so go a little bit more into your background. Like, where were you born? How were you raised? How was the family? All that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I was born in like Seattle area, you know what I mean? So Seattle. And then I grew up in Linwood with my mom, my dad, and then they split up, I think, second grade.
Oh, wow. So your parents got divorced? They
got divorced and everything, yeah. So second grade, so just, my stepmom's cool, my stepdad's cool and everything like that. But
so did you have like 2 separate houses? Like
Yeah. 2 Christmases, all that, bro. It was awesome, dude. So, no, yeah. And then, yeah, so just, teenage years, bro. I was kind of a punk, man. Just like,
really?
I bad in school, dude. Just like didn't take it serious, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Just like.
Do any sports or anything?
I was in high school. I did some wrestling, but like high school, I barely even went. I was like dropped out junior year, but I could.
You dropped out junior year of high school?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
I know. So I went to 4 different high schools, actually. I went to.
You were that kid.
I was that kid, bro. I'm telling you, I was a little rat scallion, dude. But just like. Yeah, it was bad. I don't, I'm not glorifying it or anything, you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah. So growing up, I kind of, I was always a hard worker, I always knew that. But just like, the biggest thing with me is I just hated dumb rules. So high school was hard, It's like, you can't wear a hat. You can't, listen to headphones. And I'm like, bro, I'm chilling.
Oh, man, you should know about high school as of the COVID times. Oh. It was, that's why I went online mainly. But
oh, nice, man.
Yeah, keep going about that.
Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah, so just high school was like that, and then I actually got my GED because in the construction field I didn't need my diploma, and I was kind of just like that guy, like go, like I was just like I was actually an ed cap. You know what that is?
What is that?
So it's crazy. So you do so bad in school, they give you free college. It's
wow.
Crazy. So I was doing that, and I was like, you know what? I don't even need to do this because I just want to be a construction equipment operator. So I'll just get my GED.
So you knew, so from that time, like from when you dropped out of high school, you already like knew that you wanted to get into construction and stuff like that.
Yeah, just because that's the other thing I was going to say too. Like my dad, like he just did the same thing I did, but he also kind of like dabbled in real estate, you know? So like he, on top of that and being construction, he retired at 55.
He retired at 55.
Yeah. So
the actual age of retiring is 63, right?
I think in our union, it's like 63. I think you're right. So he retired, what, 8 years early? 55? Right?
55, yeah. 8 years early.
So I was like, man, I mean, that seems cool. I'm not trying to work until I'm, 63.
I know,
you know what I mean?
How are you supposed to enjoy life when you can barely walk?
Yeah,
right?
100%. So I kind of looked at his model and I was like, you know what? I like that. So that's what I'm going to do, because I already knew like I did so bad. I'm not, probably going to accept a UW unless I really go above and beyond or something,
So did you want to go to college?
I'm going to be honest with you, dude.
If you didn't, that's like...
Yeah. For me, I did not want to go. Not saying at all, don't go. If I have a child, I will push college on them. You know what I mean? Like I will. I think the thing with not doing this and being in construction, you totally limit your options. Like I can still do what I do to this day and have a degree.
Go a little bit in depth in that, because you're saying just doing this and not going to college will limit your options.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, definitely. So like now, having a GED and like, not college experience and stuff like that. Like if I wanted a high paying job, at my age and everything like that, I'm not saying it's impossible. You could go back to school and stuff, but it's just like you limit your options. So it's like, I can't go apply for like Amazon, a high position, like, hey, like I've done this and that, so it's just like, you kind of like limit yourself on what you're going to do. And that's why I push college. Cause it's like, you still have your options available. And you could just do whatever you want to, you know what I mean? And then it looks great on resumes, you know what I mean? It's just...
That's true.
Yeah, man.
That's completely true.
And it's a great experience,
Of course. One thing I would say, I personally don't want to go to college. And, but I would say if I were to ever go to college, it would definitely be because of the people you meet.
Yes.
The experiences you have. And like, if I were to go, I would definitely go out of state.
Yeah,
so that it's a completely... like new environment. It's just a challenge, that's the only thing I would go for.
Absolutely. Yeah. And because my buddy, he graduated from UW and like he still doesn't have like a solidified job, but like he's a little worried at his age and everything like that. But now that he has that degree, like there's so many options. Like he was just like telling me like a list of jobs that he wants to do. And I was like, shoot, man, that's awesome.
What
like,
did he do?
I'm trying to think what he got his degree in. It was like some type of like he does like photography and stuff, but it was like off of that like degree.
In that niche.
Yeah, in that niche, exactly. So like he was telling me cool stuff like photographer, cinematics for the Seahawks, and like all sorts of just really cool jobs and everything. And like, what am I gonna say? Like labor operator, you know what I mean? Like it's not like he has so many great options. So that's just kind of what I mean by like that's why I don't diss on college or anything like that too. Younger me probably would have, but older me, nah, dude.
But would you say like honestly, do you regret it? Not going to college, do you regret it? If you could go back, would you change it?
I would say I don't, because I don't really regret anything. I would not regret it, I would say. Just because the niche I do, I like what I do. So, I mean, there's that, you know what I mean? I'm a very hands-on person, so it's just like, it's hard, like you know what I mean? Like I said before, like not saying there's dumb rules, but just like being there, I don't really learn well, like just putting my face into a book and kind of doing, like I'm very hands-on, so I have to like be present, be hands-on. It would be hard for me, so I don't regret it, but it would be nice to have that degree. That's all.
For sure.
Yeah.
What you said is completely correct. Like not everybody learns the same way, and like personally, me too. I don't learn like that. I can't just sit there, listen to a teacher talk for an hour and a half, read a book, read some articles, and then try to learn like that. I would rather actually be doing stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what college mainly is, unless you pick like specific things.
Yeah, exactly. So don't regret it by any means, but it's always nice to have in your back pocket and everything like that. Yeah, maybe besides student debt. That's the only thing.
Let's get to that. The student debt. So, I mean, I know a lot of people get a lot of scholarships from different reasons for different things. But if you're an average guy, you're an average Joe, you want to go to college, you're going to be in debt unless your parents pay for it. Were you in a position where your parents could have paid for it?
I would say definitely that they probably would not have paid for it. So
did they push you at all for college?
Nah, not at all. So that's, with my parents and everything, I grew up in a suburban environment, so I'm not saying like, oh, I was raised in the trenches or anything like that, you know what I mean? But like my parents weren't really like helpful in any means, you know what I mean? I kind of moved out when I was like 16 and I was living,
really?
I was living with like my buddies and his parents and everything like that, just cause like my mom, she was just like not really like pushing me to go to school. She was kind of the problem. And then my dad, he was just kind of like, he was great and everything, but just like me and him bumped heads in high school tough, bro. I like dyed my hair black, had the pink, dude. I was like a little emo kid in high school. Like
Wow.
I was a punk, man, I'm telling you, dude. So no, like they didn't really like support me in a lot of ways that way, I would say. So I like, they would be fine with me going to college, but I had to figure it out myself. So they've never like paid me for anything. So
So are you still in contact with your parents or?
yeah, I'm cool with them and everything like that too. Kind of like, you know, we're totally fine. Like I'm going to Mexico and I'm going to chill with my dad. He lives there. So like,
really?
you know what I mean? So like, we're totally fine and everything like that. It's just like, you know, I kind of just like look past those things, you know, everyone just, I'm pretty chill, bro. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Just like
one thing like I realized about you, like no matter like what time of the day it is, what you're doing, you're always smiling. You're always like happy. You got the energy. You're always like cracking up a conversation.
Yeah.
And like, I just love that. That's like one of the reasons I invited you here on this podcast. Cause as I said, I want to have people that really stand out to me on this podcast. And like the way you do that, like I see you're working like a lot, a lot. I remember one night, so I left home to go, I don't know where I went, but I left home to go do something. It was like 11 or like somewhere around the noon, right? And then you were working. I was like, okay, just working. I came back around 7. You're still working.
I'm always working.
I went to sleep at 11. You're still working, dude. Yeah, I was just like, how, you know? And you're still keeping in like a smile on your face. You're still being positive, and that's just like amazing. Like I don't know how you
thanks,
do
man. No, definitely, I can get in depth with that for sure. So this is gonna be wild because you probably never knew this. So I was actually diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at 22. I know, crazy, right? Blew your mind, bro. But I went through treatment and I took a year off work and everything like that, and I beat it.
So what? So like when people say cancer, I always wonder like, what kind of cancer?
Oh, for sure. So this was stage 4 melanoma. So that's like skin cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's crazy because it doesn't run in my family. You know, like the doctors like couldn't find like where it started because usually people have like a mole and it like started somewhere. But like they looked all over my body, like couldn't find like where it started or anything like that. You know what I mean? So they're just like, you just got unlucky, bro. And I was like, dang, man. So yeah, I had to take off some time from work and stuff, dude. And it was like hard time on my life for sure.
How did you deal with that? Like tell me all about that.
Oh, for sure,
we have
bro.
so much time.
No, for sure.
Get into it.
Yeah. So no, I was 22 and I was like the healthiest I've ever been in my life, dude. Like lifting weights, I was like the most I've ever weighed, everything like that. Just like grinding, dude. And
what were you doing as a job?
So at that time, what was I doing? I was an operator still. So I was still doing like
still the same.
Yeah, same thing. So so I was doing that, and then I actually had to go to a Navy base for work. And to get on that Navy base, you had to do like an extreme physical, like
wow,
go to your blood test. Like usually when you get
a for work, you said. So
yeah.
How does that work?
So they want you to do a physical. Like usually when you get hired somewhere in the union, they want you to do like just a drug test. So you just go pee in a cup and everything like that. So this one, since it was on a Navy base, it was really extreme though. They were like, we want you to do x-rays. We want you to do blood work. We want you to do physical tests, everything like that. So I did all that stuff. And then they got an x-ray of my lung and they were like, something weird in your lung, man. And I was like, oh, I've been working out, you know, it's probably just a tear or something, you know what I mean? So it's probably no big deal. So, you know, we do all these tests, you know, they like put a camera down my nose, they put like a needle in my lung, everything like that. Whoa. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. And then, dude, so this is the crazy part. So I went to the doctors and they knew and everything. And they were like, yeah, this is going to be hard to hear. And it's like,
they hit you at the moment.
They hit me. Yeah, dude. Have you ever seen Charlie Brown? Like, you know what Charlie Brown is?
I feel like I should know.
No, it's all right. It's all right. So it's kind of like when the adults are talking and you just hear wah, wah, wah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So like, you know, in the movies when that happens, like they said, yeah, you have cancer. Like, dude, it was like that. Like, it was like that. So like they were talking to me, telling me my options. I couldn't even hear what they were saying. I was just like
everything just like blacked out.
Oh yeah, blacked out, dude. And then yeah, it was like super hard. I called my mom, called my dad, sister.
So what did they tell you? So they told you have cancer, and then. What did they say? They said you have to stop working, or what?
So
how was that like?
They just said, there's great treatment options nowadays. You know what I mean? Like we have the best like doctors in Seattle, which we do, Seattle Cancer Care. That's where I ended up going and everything like that. And they were just kind of explaining to me like what my options were and everything like that. So yeah, they were telling me that. I wasn't really listening though. You know what I mean? I was just like,
I know. Whoa. I mean, like they just tell you that you have cancer. I mean, you're just gonna you're gonna freeze for a second.
No, for sure, dude. And I did, and like it hit me hard, man. And like kind of just like low time, like for the next like 2 years, man. It was hard because I was going through treatment. I was sick like every 3 weeks because I actually did a study treatment. So I didn't do chemo. So it wasn't chemo or radiation. It was like a new treatment, and I was the first person in Washington to actually be on it, dude.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No
so it
way.
was it's called it's a type of immunotherapy, but it was combined with 2 drugs. They've never done it on people before in Washington. They've done like 10 people in the U.S. at that time. I know. So I was like one of them. It was crazy, bro. And it so I'd get sick every 3 weeks, and it would be like the same cycle. Like I get in on Tuesday. I start feeling like crap on Thursday, and then I feel like crap for like a week straight, you know?
But that was part of the therapy.
That was part of the therapy, yeah. So it was like doing that. And then, I just kept working and stuff like that. Every time I go in, the tumor would start shrinking and shrinking. But like when I first met with my doctor.
So where was the tumor?
It was, so they found the tumor in my left lung. Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So at that point too, that means there's different stages. And when it's in your organs, I'm pretty sure like your lymph nodes is stage 3, stage 4 is like in your organs. And there's no stage 5. Like there's only a stage 4, you know what I mean? Or like you get told you're terminally ill. So the doctor said, if you had not found us within the next year, you would have been dead. I know. And I was like, dude, how crazy is that? Because I just went for the physical. Like, I wouldn't have done it regardless. You know what I mean? Like, young guy, like, probably you do. Like, you're probably not just going to the doctor and be like, bro, I got cancer, you know? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's hella just weird, dude. So, I don't know how it happened, but it's crazy it happened.
So, did they end up telling you, like, what caused it at all?
So, that was the weird thing.
Did they have any guesses on that?
Dude, that was the weird thing. They, like, just said you're unlucky. They just said straight up. They were like, because they're like, you live in Seattle. There's not a lot of sun here because that's what people get it from. Like tanning. They're like, you go to tanning beds? I'm like, no, I don't do the tanning beds. You know, like they're just like, weird, bro. You got cancer. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And still to this day, they never found like where it came from because usually they can find a certain mole. They never found that. Super, super weird, bro. But,
I mean, you said you were one of the first people in like Seattle that had to go through that type of treatment.
Yeah.
Right? But that cancer like anything that was common at all?
Like just like common like in general?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like melanoma. A lot of people get melanoma and like stage 1 isn't too serious. That's just like there's a mole in your skin and they'll just pop it off. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big deal. And stage 2, I'm not too sure. I'm not doctor by any means. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, but I just know like once you probably start hitting like stage 3 and stage 4, that's when it starts getting pretty serious. And yeah, like Bob Marley. Bob Marley. Pretty sure he died from melanoma. So no way. But you know, that was in the 60s, of course. Like they didn't have the treatment and everything. So, but yeah, so that was wild, bro. But that on top of that. Now, yeah, exactly. So how that comes full circle is just like, man, like you just cannot take anything for granted, bro. Just be happy. You know what I mean? Like,
so was that like, so when did that hit you? The fact that, okay, wow, you can't take anything for granted. Gotta go serious.
Oh, definitely. Like, so I was told I was NED, which means no evidence of disease. I want to say, what am I, 28 now? So it's 22. I was 24, I want to say.
Because you said it took 2 years to...
Yeah. And I was always just a super positive guy before and everything. I stayed really positive, like, through the process and everything like that, even though it was hard. But, like, once I just decided, like, man, you can't take anything for granted, bro. It was, like, probably, like... Because I was down in the dumps after they told me to. It was a weird situation. But... after that, like, I was just like, nah, you can't take nothing for granted, bro. Like, take the risk, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so did that mindset kind of come to you after you started healing or like during the whole process? Like, how was it?
Kind of like after, because I was just soaking when I was like, you know what I mean? Like during the process, because it was just hard, man, just being sick and stuff. So I was just like more down in the dumps during the time. Which is bad, you know? You don't want to be down in the dumps, but it's hard, dude. Like when you're sick every 3 weeks.
Like, no, I know, bro. Like as I'm an athlete, so like as an athlete, when you get injured and you're out, so in your case, that would be you got injury, and you're out of your sport, which is like working and hustling and all that stuff. It's a downtime.
It's a downtime,
It's a
bro.
dark place.
It is.
Like, and you either come out of it better or you come out of it completely worse.
Exactly. So at first I was worse for a bit. I had to kind of like figure out myself. I straight up went to therapy and everything.
Tell me about that time.
Yeah, definitely. Like, right. It was weird. So Hold on, sorry.
It's all
Whatever
good. Don't worry.
So yeah, after the process and stuff, it was really weird. And actually, my wife, she like looked up on the internet and everything. And I guess like after a lot of cancer patients beat it.
When did you get married?
I got married, I want to say 23.
23. Okay.
So I was already diagnosed when I got married too.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So yeah, so like I was 23 when I got married. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's awesome too. So
I always hear she's always
helping me out, man. Whenever I call her, she's amazing, dude. So, but yeah, so wait, what were you saying? So
you were going on about how you said, hold on, where were we at? We kind of lost it right
No,
there.
it's all good, dude.
I asked, you were in a dark place and you were coming out of that, and then you started talking about how you.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like it was a dark place. Like then I went to therapy and everything, and exactly, and then kind of figured it out and everything like that, and then.
How much would you say therapy helped you?
Dude,
what kind of therapy was it?
It was just
sitting,
sitting and talking, bro. And I think, dude, everybody should get therapy. I'm saying this for everybody because no one's perfect, man. You can figure out so much about yourself in therapy. And if people are like, man, it makes you weak, it does this. It's like, bro, that was dope. Actually, like, I think it makes you stronger, bro. Because it's like, if you can sit and kind of like figure out your own weaknesses and stuff like that, it's pretty strong, bro. Like,
So it just, how would it be like? Because I never like really understood how therapy works. You just kind of go sit, like you lay in those beds.
Dude, nah, they don't got the beds at this place or anything, but they probably do some other places. But they just like sit there and like, you gotta think it's like you go talk to your best friend about something, but imagine your best friend has like all the perfect answers. You know what I mean? Because it's like they it's their job. They study it. You know what I mean? So like they just know how to kind of like figure out what issues, you know what I mean? Like how to solve your issues kind of, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of like smart to go, you know what I mean? That's just.
So you would recommend it for everybody?
I think everybody should go. Even if you think you got the world in your hands, man. Like, I mean, you can figure out so much about yourself and kind of like your weaknesses and everything and how to overcome them.
That's true. I agree. But what would you say about what I'm going to say. So not everybody has like people like that around them who they can completely open up to and completely just tell them everything and they would help you. You could even have that type of person that you can explain everything to and be comfortable with, but they might not be able to give you the right answers, as you say. But yeah, if you do, you're probably really lucky.
You're pretty lucky, you know what I mean? So I think, like, I don't know. I know some people in my life and stuff, and they kind of talk to me about it, like their problems and everything. And I'm just like, say, dude, I can't, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't know. It's like, how can, you're not in that situation. You're not like, if I were to go somebody and be like, dude, I'm sad about my cancer. Like, what are they going to say? Like, yeah, I don't know. Dude, yeah, exactly. So it's just like, it's hard to relate, but somebody who like knows how to like fix problems that, you know what I mean? Even if they can't relate, you know what I mean?
It's their job. Exactly. They're supposed to be good at it.
So that's just how I think about it. I don't know. It's kind of the way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then, shortly after that, I started dabbling into real estate investing and everything.
So how did that start? So you were out of work, did you say for 1 year or 2 years?
So I was out of work for 1 year.
So how did that time, like, where were you living? How were you dealing with your expenses?
Yeah. So, I actually moved back in with my wife's parents. Like we actually lived in an apartment in Bothell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was nice, bro. It was a lot of fun. But then, like, because I was sick so often and stuff, and like had to take off time, we just moved back there. Because also I wasn't working, so we couldn't afford like paying rent and stuff. So we went back there, and then my wife, she continued to work. She's like a nanny and everything, so she continued to work, and then we didn't have to pay rent or anything. Of course, I got cancer. You know what I mean? You gotta pull that card. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so we just went back there, lived there for like a year, and then right after that, we bought our very first house, and then after we.
So for that year. I'm just trying to put the puzzles together. So that year, so you were 22, and then when did you move in with your wife?
So we moved in. I lived like when me and my wife very first lived with each other.
Yeah.
Like we like moved out at 18. Like right when we turned 18,
really?
yeah, we lived in Linwood in an apartment, and
That
then
was like all you guys.
yeah, it was just all us and everything like that. Like as soon as we turned 18, and then we just kind of bounced around just because we were young. Like why not? Let's just move to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Let's just move to Mill Creek.
And you were just doing the construction operation thing, right?
So yeah, I actually
that
did. I
time?
did a concrete, and then I also did operating. So in between those two jobs and
So
everything.
were you doing any other hustles like on the side? or
Dude,
anything
always,
like that?
bro. I'm
Oh,
always
tell me
been
about
hustling,
those,
dude. No,
man.
dude, like, I don't know. I've always been like a flipper guy. You know what I mean? Like whether it be shoes or cars or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, have you flipped any cars?
oh yeah, like when I was in high school and everything, just flipping like Civics. You know what I mean? All the time, bro. Like, I'd pick up a Civic for like 17 and then flip it. Like, put a new bumper and a headlight on it. Just put it up for 32, sell it, dude. It was like I just love doing it, dude. You know?
And you were still doing that like all the time on the side?
Yeah, on the
Are
side.
you still doing it?
Not cars and stuff. Shoes I do all the time,
You still
bro.
do shoes?
Oh, I'm all about the shoes, bro. Like
Like
Nike.
sneakers and
Yeah.
just wait, so do you go for like drops and stuff?
All the time. Sneakers,
Really?
that. Yeah,
do, you,
Adidas.
do you do bots?
No,
Or-
I wish, bro. I don't know how to do it, dude.
I used to do that.
Yeah?
I used to go for drops like on the sneakers app.
With the bots and everything?
No, not with bots. I wish though. you
Yeah,
know?
me too. I'm like, I can figure that out.
It's so hard without bots, but
It is.
me and my friend actually got into it.
Yeah, dude.
And I got him into it. I didn't really get anything. Like at most, I made like $250 profit on some shoes. But he got into it, and do you know the Off-White Jordans?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
He got those.
Which ones did he get?
I don't know. It was like 2 years ago.
The UNC or the blue ones, or you got the Chicago
white-
red ones?
the white
The
one.
white ones?
The
Oh, those are the
white
best
ones.
pair, bro.
He got those.
Dang.
Literally with no bot, with no nothing, just on his phone. 7 a.m. in the morning, waking up,
Lucky
going for the
goose,
dro-
bro.
I know he got that. He got some mochas. He was just getting like he was just banging left and right.
Killing it, bro.
I know, but yeah, I did that for a bit too. But I mean, it's crazy. Some people like go so hard into it. They have like
Tons and tons of pairs and everything.
They have like storage.
I wish I
all
could be like
stuff.
that, man. I need to figure out the bot thing because it's like that's an investment of its own, bro. Like you could
real.
flip hella money off.
So
of
you're
that.
still going for shoes?
Oh yeah, I just went for the. I don't know if you know the Travis Scott Low Phantoms, the black ones.
No, I've been out of it
Oh,
for so long.
I'm all about them, bro. Like okay, you know the Travis one highs though. The Travis, like the high ones, they look like the mochas, but the back.
Oh yeah.
So
and they got the
yeah,
the
I hit on those,
Cactus
dude.
Jack.
I hit on those, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I
Do you
sold
just
them.
go with what do you go with just one phone or how many like devices do you go
Dude,
with?
it depends on the drop. Like if I really want the shoe, like those Travis were actually the very first shoes I ever tried for.
They
I was just
really tried for?
Yeah, I only did one phone on that one, and I was like in the middle of the water, like we were on a boat and stuff, dude. And I was like, I gotta get these. And everyone's like, dude, you ain't gonna get them. And I'm like, I gotta try, and I hit on them. But then some of them, like there was a couple Yeezys I wanted for personal, dude. I hit up like 20 people, and I was like, 7 a.m., bro, you gotta go for it.
I
dude.
know, 7 a.m. You gotta be up at 6:55.
Yeah.
Get your phone on, keep refreshing
Yes,
it.
sir.
Yeah.
So no, like some of them I do, some of them I don't and stuff. And now I don't know. I try to get like a lot of shoes for my buddies because it's so hard for me because like that's the inner hustle in me. You know what I mean? I'm like, if I put on these shoes right now that cost me $1,000, I'm gonna lose $600 in value. So I just like I cannot put them on my feet. You know?
Yeah, I never see you wearing.
I never wear
like
shoes.
you don't look
Yeah,
like the type of guy to be
exactly.
going for those.
No,
stuff.
exactly. So like, it's more of like a hustle for me. But my friends, they like love them. Like they'll wear them, and I'm like, it only cost me like $180. You know what I mean? Like
Hustler mindset.
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
allow that.
So I'm just like, I can't put them on. It's like a car. Like you take a car off a lot, you know, it loses its value as soon as you take it off the lot. So I can't do it. But my buddies, if they want them, you know, I'll go for them and stuff, and I have no problem.
So,
Give 'em to
like,
them.
do you have a lot right now?
Right now, not really. I got a couple pairs of Yeezys. I just hit on some SBs though. I want to go. There's the lobster dunks that are dropping.
I always went for dunks. Never got one.
Dunks are
Never.
impossible, bro.
Ever.
Yeah, there's a skate shop in Seattle. If you enter their raffle, I've won like 3 or 4 times on them though. But if you just go on sneakers, like it's like you never win on sneakers, dude.
I know.
It's so hard to win, bro.
I know. It's just
Yeah.
like, or like some people like, you know, the Supreme website. They go for like those ones are the bots.
worst, bro. Yeah, the bots all over
Those
that.
are the bots. But sneakers, they're pretty good about bots.
They're pretty. That's what they say. I don't know if I believe it, bro. Like, me and my buddies are like, they don't care. They're making so much money, dude. They don't
I
care.
know. It's so crazy, like the power of branding.
Oh,
that you are entering a raffle to buy this product.
Oh, it's crazy, man. And you think about it too. It's almost like with Travis Scott. Like everyone loves his stuff, man. You think about it. You know what I mean? Imagine if a shoe that he dropped didn't have his name on it. his name sells what he, he is the product.
That's America.
Yeah, exactly.
This like because you don't think they make the exact same thing for like 25 cents in China?
Oh, 100%, bro.
But it's just like Americans are so like obsessed with the branding and
culture,
like,
and
everything is just branded, and that's what wins at the end.
Exactly,
of the day.
man. And it's like, hey, man, if you can make a product and sell it, and you are the product, then by all means, man, right on, dude. Like people think Kardashians are super dumb, and you know what I mean, dude?
Oh no,
they're billionaires, dude.
They're just, it's crazy.
It might make you mad, dude, but think about this: they're living the life, bro. You know what I mean?
Living the life. But one thing though. They did sell their soul. You would have to agree to that.
They probably did, dude. They probably did, dude. But
they have to go with whatever they're told to do.
Yeah, that's true and everything.
That's one thing, but I mean, also they are very smart.
They're living their lives, bro.
But anyway, so we were talking about the time where you and your girlfriend moved in together, and then
yeah. So 18, we moved into our first apartment. Then just all the years we're kind of, bouncing around and everything, And just because we're young, like, why not? Like, we're not like, let's just stay here. We're comfortable.
How did you meet her?
So actually, dude, we met in middle school. Yeah, middle school, bro. So we had the same math class, and then we were just became like best friends. Like we were best friends from like 7th grade to junior year. And then out of nowhere, we're just like, I think we like each other. You know what I mean? After all this time, dude, and we're just like, all right.
Which high school?
So that high school, she went to Malik Terrace. I was in and out of like Linwood, Cascade, Everett. Man. You know what I mean? I was in and out of everywhere. So, but it was funny because like she would always like we'd have to go to each other's dances and stuff, and like I actually got kicked out of her homecoming.
No way.
Yeah, it was bad, bro.
How did you do that?
Yeah,
how did you get kicked out of the homecoming?
We were on a party bus, and all of a sudden we show up to the school and stuff, and they just lock us, all of us, into rooms. Don't say a word to any of us. They just all individual, like all of us are locked in a different room. Locked us.
Where did you guys go to?
This was Malik Terrace High School prom.
So you guys
went homecoming.
So you guys were on the bus. You guys went to the school.
Mm-hmm. So we showed up to school to like do the dance thing.
Yeah.
So they take us off the bus and they say, "Paul, can you guys come with us?" And we're like, okay.
Who said that?
Just like the principal or somebody. And then literally with like a police officer like by the door, like will not let us out, and they're not telling us anything. And I'm just like, what's even going on? Like, what are we doing here? And they're just like, well, I think you know what we're doing. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, dude. That was like the dumb rule thing. I hated it, dude. So then he came out, and then he's like, all right, you guys are good to go. And I'm like, and then I was like, what even was that? Like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, well, some people are drinking alcohol. And I'm like, dude, I was in the room for 30 minutes. You can't just, tell me that, dude. Yeah, I was like, you can't just let me know. And he was like, well, I don't got to do anything. And I was like, I mean, just as a general good person, bro, like a human being, you could be like, hey, the people drinking alcohol, you might be one of them, Right. And he was like, I don't got to explain anything to you. You're the student. I'm the teacher. And I'm like, nah, dude. What did I say to him?
You were just talking back.
Yeah, I was just talking back, and they didn't like it, of course, And and they're like, you know what, you're out of here. And I was like,
no way.
Then I went off on them, F you, And then he was just like, and then they didn't like me at that school no more. So
it's so crazy, because I feel like the way you were as a teenager, it's kind of like the same as me. Just like whenever you hear something that just doesn't make sense, but is like normalized, or it's like you're just supposed to go with it. You just like stand up against it. That's the same as me. Like one example. So it was one of the main. This is one of the main reasons I left school to do online. It was last year. It was my junior year, and I was in a class, and that was the year where you had to put on masks in the class and all that.
Okay.
Right. So, and I always just like I couldn't have it above my nose. I just can't breathe, man. Like just give me a break. It's like always just hanging down here, Mm-hmm. And then I was just eating in a class, right? Because you can take it off to eat. Mm-hmm. And then this teacher, this very strict teacher, like she wants to do a power flex on me or what? I don't know what she's trying to do. So I'm eating. She's like, you have to put on your mask in between every bite.
Whoa.
So I just got so mad, and I was like, no, I just controlled it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That just doesn't make sense. I don't care even if it's the rules. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense, right? And then she's like, no, you have to. And I was like, no. And then I just kept eating, and then he was like, do it, no. And I was just like, no. And then I just got up and left.
You got up and left,
and then, like, from that day, I was just like, no. I can't go to school. I want to do online. I don't want to deal with these
exactly.
teachers. I don't want to do that.
I feel you, bro. We never got to experience like, because I've heard like during COVID, like for like people in school, it was super hard, super different experience. You know what I mean? So never had to deal with it. So I don't know how hard, but I probably would have hated it even more, dude.
You would have been a menace.
Yeah, I would have been a menace. Dude.
Like,
I was already a menace, so I couldn't imagine that, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, we never got to like actually. I never got a full year of high school.
Yeah.
Never got a full year of high school. Freshman year, at the end of it, COVID, and then sophomore year was fully online. Junior year, I hated school, didn't want to go. And senior year, I just don't want to go.
Yeah, dude, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Are you planning on going to college or anything, or what's your... No,
to be honest, no, yeah. I have a lot of things I want to do.
Heck yeah, man.
But, you know, one thing that I've came to, like, know is that, so they say if you talk about your, like, goals and what you want to do, it kind of ruins it for you because it kind of gives you the false sense that you've already done it.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely agree with that. And always, like, my girlfriend's parents, my own parents, everybody else, my friends, they ask me, so you don't want to go to college, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, I know exactly what I want to do, but I just don't want to say it because I've been there before where I tell them, like, what I want to do and what I have planning, and I end up never doing it because I just talk about it so much. I already feel like I've done it. Do you kind of like agree with that?
I kind of agree with that, and then it's kind of hard too because kind of like what you're saying too is like when I meet so many people who are like, yeah, we want to flip houses, we want to get rentals and stuff like that too, and I'm just like, okay, but what steps are you taking? You know what I mean? Like, are you knocking on doors? Are you you know what I mean?
Plan?
What's your plan? Like, are you executing anything? Like, everybody, like, dude, I want to say I want to drive a Lambo in Miami. And what am I doing to get there? You know what I mean?
How
like,
are you going to get there?
Exactly. And like, yeah, exactly. Like, you need to, I mean, you don't need to let everybody know your business. Just execute your plans. You know what I mean? Kind of like follow through and stuff like that. Like that. So I see exactly what you're saying there and everything like that. So for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to explain all that, I feel like it would make me feel good for no reason,
mm-hmm.
and that would get my motivation down to do what I actually want to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I completely agree. Like, I was watching this video the other day, and it was like saying, so everybody wants to get rich, but then when you ask them, like, how are you gonna get rich? Like, oh, I don't know. Just do it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, dude. No, it's hard.
You gotta
man.
have a plan, right?
You gotta have a plan,
like,
bro, and you gotta execute the plan.
Tell me about you, because the jobs you do, you don't just go ahead one day and be like, oh, I'm going to do this, right?
No.
There's planning into it.
There's definitely planning and stuff.
How does that work? Like, how do you start planning about it?
So, everything? I think kind of just planning is like, people ask me like, because I know how to do a lot of trades and stuff. And like, how do you do it? How do you, how do you learn how to do that? And it's super simple. I'm like, I just do it. You know what I mean? Like, I've like, let's say, a plumbing, like maybe I'm not a plumber, but it's like, if I just do it, I'll figure it out, dude. And usually, like, people are like, "Oh, you YouTube?" Like, I don't even YouTube a lot of stuff, bro. I kind of just do it. I just go, and it's like some things just kind of roll down a hill, and it's like, okay, this is the next step. This is the next step. You know what I mean? So if you kind of just got to put yourself in the situation and just kind of do it. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
So yeah, like a lot of stuff in the house, like there's a lot of stuff I've never done before, but I just did it, man. So it's kind of just like, like, I mean, of course, like planning wise, like I know, like there's like drywall, there's steps in that process. So it's kind of funny because my wife, she's the total organizer person. Like she does finances and organization and stuff. And I'm just like I work on it guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
hands-on.
Yeah, I talk to the contractors when they get there and stuff like that too. So we have really good roles and stuff. Cause like taking on all that by myself, bro, would be so hard. Like she's like the background person. You know what I mean?
Of
so like
course.
texting contractors, but when they get there, I'm like, all right.
So is that like kind of your team, just you and her?
Just me and her. That's kind of the team and everything like that. We have my buddy who actually is the agent selling that house right there.
What is his name on the
Paul Lennick. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, so he's our agent. He wasn't the one who technically like told me about it and stuff, but me and him kind of like shoot each other, like, because he does a lot of real estate investing and I do a lot of real estate investing too. So we kind of just bounce each other's ideas and stuff, and we're always going back and forth and like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
so he's just like, you brainstorm with
him, and he's like the dude I probably feel the most comfortable, like, you know what I mean? Like bouncing ideas, because it's hard too. Cause like, I don't know, you probably have a lot of friends and stuff, and when I was younger, like I was like, oh, I definitely want to go in partners with my cousin, he's my guy, but nowadays I would never go and buy, like, I almost recommend doing partners with people because there's so much conflict when it comes to like money involved and things, man. It's hard, dude. It's hard. So,
but you said you wouldn't recommend. Wait, what was that?
I wouldn't recommend partnering when it comes to like big financial decisions and stuff like that. It's just because no disrespect to him, but he does like a partner with his buddy too. But then also
your cousin or
the agent we got. Yeah, so he's doing a rental right now in Stanwood, and he has a partner with his buddy, and it just makes one step more. So everything you do now, you have to check with your partner, and if your partner doesn't like it, then now you're butting heads and you're friends. So it's like might get, you know what I mean?
Of
so
course.
it's just like,
I feel like if you are ever to get into like a partnership, it would have to be like that, because one thing I heard, you know how they say don't mix family with business?
100%.
But some other people say like they say mix them, because if you trust them that on that level of family, then like it could work out. What do you think about that?
It just gets really dicey, I think. Yeah, but it's like then you're gonna think like, I'll do an example. I bought a boat with me and my cousins. We just split it 4 ways. We're like, let's have a boat for the summer. This will be awesome. Like we'll all pay for gas, this and that. Guess who was working on the boat all the time? Guess who had to tow the boat? Guess who had to pay? You know what I mean? Like, and then it just becomes like, you feel like this, like, oh man, I'm doing all this stuff and they're not doing nothing. Like, what the heck, dude? And you don't want to feel like that about your friends and stuff. It just like creates unnecessary like tension. You know what I mean?
I know that tension isn't nice to have
with your friends and family. Yeah. Exactly. And I love the guys to death, man. Like I would die for them and stuff. But it just when it comes to like financials, it's just like I'd rather just do it me and my wife. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just that's the easiest way.
Like a business partner? There's a lot of people who are like big time. They didn't get there by themselves, you know. They had a team. Definitely. I
would say when you get to a certain scale, like let's say I've had opportunities where like developing on land and stuff like that and stuff. And
what does that mean, developing?
Developing is just like like building from the ground up. You know what I mean? So like let's say this house
kind of just like this.
Kind of like this. This is more like a very, very big renovation. We'll call it that, dude. Yeah. So, so like developing. So me and that Paul guy, we put in an offer in Northgate on a place that we were going to build an additional house on. And
so it was like already a house with like a big property, and
property, and we're going to put another house on it, which is like, that's a lot to take on for one person and stuff like that. So I guess
that's basically from the ground up.
That's from the ground up. Yeah, developing and stuff. So it was a thing called a DADU, like it's like there's a lot of like stuff, bro. But it's just like a detached additional dwelling unit we were gonna build. And in those circumstances, like I've never developed, and like I don't have a ton of capital. You know what I mean? Like by money, you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes you almost have to take on partners, because it's like once you get to a certain scale, you know, stuff gets crazy. You know, like a single family with just me and my wife, we can handle it. You know what I mean?
But let's say you were to do an apartment.
Oh, I would partner for sure, because it's just like it takes.
How would you go on to find that partner though? That's the thing.
Apartment?
No, not a partner.
Like a partner.
Like when let's say you're on the bigger scale, and how would you like go on with that?
It's funny because I have a lot of people who ask me like, "Oh, we should partner." Like a lot of people ask me that, and of
course, I mean you're doing good, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. But it just be like I trust that Paul guy. I would do it, and the thing that why I would do it is because I know that he brings something to the table. He has something that's worth it to me. You know what I mean? Like
worth working with.
Yeah, because the thing is like I can do a lot of the work and stuff like that, and I know that if we were together, it would not be 50-50. He's doing a ton of work, I'm doing a ton of work. It'd be more like
100 and 100.
Yeah, or it'd be like I'm doing 90% of the work. He's like on the back burner, like figuring out like real estate. You know what I mean? He like has the brains behind it. I'm more like the hands-on behind it.
Yeah,
but
both are very necessary.
Yeah, they're both very necessary and everything like that too. So I try to be both, but it's hard, dude. Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of why I have my wife, but he's very valuable. So that's, you know, you have to have somebody that brings it to the table. Like a lot of people are like, oh, if you find some, dude, let me know. Let's partner. And I'm like,
you can't partner with everyone.
Like, and like you said, like, are you able to be there? You know, your friends are having a party on a Saturday, and like you're just gonna give that up and just, you know what I mean? Like, are you able to do that, dude? Like, not a lot of people are able to do that. I know, so it's just like, what are you?
Well, so what I was asking is like, how do you find someone? You know, like, how does it come? Does it just come? Like, does it go through like meeting new people? Like, how? Because you know, I'm young. Like, I want to have people like that around me.
Definitely.
When I'm older, I want to have people who are so competent, who are so like locked in, who are like trying to do the same thing as me. But since I'm young, I don't really know how to go around those people.
How to find those people. Okay, definitely, man. So, like I said, like a lot of friends and family, they'll ask you. And of course, like you have to make the decision, like, can I trust this person? But I think the best chance you have is probably networking. And that's something we're trying to get better at too, is networking. Like, it's hard because it's like you think these people are your competitors. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, I don't want to mess with that guy. He's trying to buy this house too. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, well, that guy's motivated. He's already in the game. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what he's doing, obviously. So networking is your best bet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much podcast work you want to do, or if you want to make it big, you know, but it's like maybe there's forums and stuff like that. You can find people, you know what I mean? Just like, I think networking is really important. Like meeting people in person is, I think, very important too and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
how do you go about doing that? Like, how do you, so, and I mean, your character, I see you like, you're all, doesn't matter who it is, you're having a convo with them, you're laughing, sure. like, that will definitely, like, no matter who you're trying to talk to, that will definitely, like, attract that person into wanting to, like, either work with you or literally just be like, oh, yeah, what a good guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So it's kind of like you gotta be good at reading people's vibes too, you know what I mean? Kind of like you're like, oh, you can talk to everybody and stuff. So, like, when I meet people and stuff and they're just, like, conceited or just, like, you know what I mean, don't seem very motivated, you know what I mean, not intelligent of like what we're trying to do. That's kind of how I weed people out, you know what I mean? So just like I love everybody in the neighborhood, dude. They're chill. Like, I can have a conversation with everybody and stuff too, but like beyond that, like if you're trying to find somebody like in your niche, you know what I mean, trying to figure out what you do, you kind of just got to be good at like reading people, you know what I mean?
Of course. So some people got to read people. Yeah, I mean, it is judging people. It is. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we all judge. There's no way you can say, you look at a person, the first thing you look at them, you're like, okay, like, are they dressed nice? Are they in good shape? People like to say nowadays, no, don't judge, it's not good. But that's just how we work. That's how we are as humans. Like,
you want to present yourself professionally and everything like that too. And it's hard for me, bro. Like, I'm always doing construction stuff, so I got a construction drone. Dude, so that's the hard thing. Like, I always say this too. There's like investor Logan who like is buying these deals, finding these deals, and then there's
like suit and tie Logan.
Yeah, and then there's like flip Logan who's like car is a mess and like construction clothes on 24/7.
Dirty hands.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that makes me, you know what I mean, like differs me from people, because some people can just throw capital and money at a flip and it's no problem to them. You know what I mean? Like, here's 200 grand, figure it out. You know what I mean? But me, I'm not like the richest guy in the world. So I got to not only be my own investor, I have to be the contractor too. So that's the hard part, man. So
that is. So, all right, we keep getting like distracted from what we were talking about, but it's so good. Yeah. Like, so where were we at? We were talking about
how to find the people.
That was
okay.
Distraction. We got distracted because we're just trying to dive into the story.
For sure.
So you moved out with your girl, and then when did you start like doing like actual work like this, like buying properties, all that stuff? When did you start buying properties?
So, I'm trying to think. So we bought our house in so we got married. I want to say it was 2019 is when we bought our house. And
what a year. What a year.
Oh, yeah, man. So that was before COVID and everything. We got married perfect timing. All of our friends, you know, they had to wait for COVID. But so around 2019, we bought our house. And then I always liked to work on stuff, but then I started doing home projects and stuff. And I just love it. Like, compared to like my job, I like it more than my own job. You know what I mean? I like home renovating and stuff. So would you
say right now, so your construction job, is that your main source of income, or is this type of thing you do your
main source of income? Is definitely my actual job. So that's the hard part in this mix. I gotta take my job very seriously because it pays my bills, you know what I mean? But then this is just like, I'm trying to make this become my, you know what I mean, become my thing. But my actual job does pay my bills right now. So I'm just trying to turn this into something bigger, you know what I mean? So that's like my main thing. So that's why you always see me Monday through Friday getting off at 2:30. Then I got to go over there and work on that.
So what time do you usually work? You work from like 7 in the morning to...
Yeah, so usually it's like 6:30 until 2:30.
6:30.
Yeah, and right now we're in Northgate digging a big old hole. So then I come home and work on that place until 9 o'clock, and you know what I mean? So
wow, dude, that's so much determination and so much hard work.
Thank you.
I literally admire that so hard.
Thank you.
You just work, bro. You just work.
Yeah, man. It's funny too, because a lot of people ask me, they're like, "Are you happy, man? You get to relax now and all this stuff?" And I'm like,
"You don't gotta be happy. You don't gotta relax."
I'm like, not really. I'm not really happy. I'm used to working all the time. I kind of like it, you know. It's like you go to the gym, I'm guessing, you know what I mean? You work out, you do whatever.
Not yet, because so for soccer, I don't really want to go to the gym yet, because a lot of people that play like soccer or like sports with ball, when they hit the gym, they like, yeah, you might say, oh, they're getting bigger, they're getting faster, stronger, right? But they kind of just degrade, like they get worse, they get heavier.
Oh, I see.
Because for soccer, I need to be like skinny, smooth.
Yeah, smooth.
Not so like tight
agile.
all the time. Because when you're in the gym, you're always stiff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
your muscles are sore.
And your joints get tight, bro. Your joints get tight, dude.
So I just can't have that yet.
No, that's fine,
But
dude.
when I'm done with soccer, I'm going to hit the gym for sure. But you were going.
Just what I was going with that is just like, you ever just put your headphones in and just vibe out? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I mean, I just either put my headphones in, or you probably even heard the music, bro. Just turn it
Yeah,
up.
I remember
You know what
those.
I mean? So either I just had headphones, I just vibe out and just kind of treat it like, you know, like I'm just going to do me for a while, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just like nice to do, honestly.
Would you say you get in like the flow state when you work?
Like
when you just, everything is just naturally happening?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Kind of just like
just
almost,
flowing.
yeah, lose track of time. You know, just kind of just having fun with it. You know what I mean? Because you gotta have fun with it, bro. You're
Does
gonna be.
that happen all the time?
Yeah, like almost every single day, dude. Like when I go there and stuff, unless I got somebody else there working with me or something, you know, I gotta turn it down and kind of just be serious. But like if I'm there by myself, like, I kind of prefer it, because I'm like just doing me, man. I'm just like giving it, you know, just doing what I gotta do. You know what I mean?
Of course,
yeah, dude. So no, I like it, man. I think it's a lot of fun, dude. Yeah. It's funny, this guy told me too, like, a lot of people give you advice through life, and this, like, I never, like, really care. I'm just like, oh, whatever, dude, I'm young, whatever, dude.
I was just doing me.
You know what, I'm just doing me. But there's, like, one thing that stuck with me, and this guy, I was on a dozer, which a dozer just pushes dirt, basically, and just, like, does his stuff, and I didn't even like the guy. He's a dick, dude, honestly, but he said something, and it, like, stuck with me. He was just like, what, you got to go over there and get that little dirt right there. And I'm like, it's whatever, you know? And he's like, if you're not going to do it, no one else is going to do it for you. And I'm just like, damn, dude, that's kind of true, man.
So was that like something that like
that just clicked in me? And it's so weird, because like I hear like stupid quotes like that all the time in construction. Like, oh, you do, you know what I mean? You just hear stupid stuff all the time. But it's just like, I don't know why that thing like literally just stuck to me. I'm like, and that's why like I'm over here at like 10 on the weekends, 11, 12 sometimes, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, if I don't do it, you know, who's going to do it? No one's going to do it.
They ain't going to build it.
Oh, 100%. Man. And that was, I feel bad. I apologize for that. That was late, bro. It was like 1 a.m. sometimes.
That was one of the days. Like I told you, I left.
Yeah.
And like at noon, I came back, and then I slept, and you were still working.
That was rough too, because we were trying to meet a schedule that time. So like we had to get that deck done. And shout out to the neighbor. He was helping me out, man. That guy is an animal too. But yeah, no. Yeah, that was. I feel bad. My bad. But
no, bro, you're good.
Yeah,
I never minded the music, the light, none of that. I was just looked at it. I was like,
hey, at least it's coming along. You know what I mean? So, no. Yeah, just kind of have to have that work ethic. Kind of like, if no one's gonna do it, you got to do it. You know what I mean? I can't. If I don't hire a contractor, who I'm just gonna sit there and wait like 2 weeks and nothing's gonna happen. You know, like I gotta just do it. You know what I mean? Just gotta do it. It's like Nike, dude. Just do it, dude.
Just do it, bro. Yeah, I mean, it ain't gonna do it itself.
Yeah, 100%.
But one thing, so you talked about like they ask you, are you happy? Are you relaxed? But I personally think like people like you who do great stuff, who are like thriving and are like working towards something, a lot of times you're not gonna be happy. I would say, like, there's a difference between like being like you're because I'm sure you're not sad. You're not sad, right? Yeah. You're not depressed.
Yeah.
But you're not like happy either. You're not all rainbows and sunshine, dude, right? What do you got to say on that?
No, I'm happy you said that. Like, this real estate game, over everything besides physical, it's a mental battle, bro. Like, so much of a mental battle. You know how many times somebody came over there and said like, no, you just got to tear this place down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so many, like, so like the stress level, you got to be someone who can just take that, because it's a lot, man. Like, between me and my wife, like, I'm a little bit better than she is. Like, she kind of, you lose it a little bit more. Of course, like, I mean, no, it's you'll hear things all the time, bro, and it's hard. Like, let's say like the siding and stuff I told you, like all that extra stuff we had to do, we didn't budget for. So then that comes out of your pocket. Then you're like, you know, that's a lot of money I got to pay out of pocket. So it's a huge mental battle and stuff. And then you have the city inspections, and then you got to deal with them, you know? So like, it's not always rainbow and butterflies, bro. Like, I can keep my composure, but a lot of times it's pretty stressful, man. Like you said, I'm not sad or anything, and I'm having a good time, but
I mean, sometimes that's what makes a man like, strong, right?
yeah, dude.
I mean, that like, if your life is always rainbows and sunshine and just relaxing, then how?
Nah, man, you gotta have the ups and downs, bro. It's all just part of life, man. And you're not always gonna hear what you want to hear and stuff like that. So you keep your composure and just keep pushing, bro. Because a lot of people said like that was impossible. We're not gonna do it, this and that. They'll just tear it down, dude. But then proved them wrong. You know what I mean? So it's just like you just gotta kind of push ahead, man. Like it's not always rainbow and butterflies, like you said. So
yeah, that's a good thing that we talked about. So another thing, that I was wondering. So how I asked you earlier about like planning this whole thing. So before you got into it, tell me about like the process of how it goes to finding this property right here to being like, okay, do I want to work on this? Do I not? And then getting like the funds for it, contractor, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some good information for free 99, baby. All right,
99. Let's get it. Hey, you guys, listen up.
Listen up, dude.
Put the seatbelt on. Get ready.
No, so there's a lot of ways, but I'll just go with the way that we prefer. So the way you find these properties, especially back when it was a super hot market, because right now it's not so hot, is we would do a lot of off-market deals. And basically what that means is none of these houses are for sale. Like that house was never for sale. It was abandoned, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we have a house in Shoreline that wasn't for sale. So what we do and what we found that we like, because I'll go on this real quick. There's a thing called like cold calling and skip tracing and stuff like that. So basically you just call, 1,000 numbers. You're like, hey, I'd like to buy your house. You know what I mean? And of course you hear that, you're going to be like, all right, dude, shut up. Click. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you don't care.
Know. No one wants to be sold.
No one wants to be bothered, dude.
So
me and my wife, the alternative we found is we do handwritten notes. And with a photo of us, and we just say like, "Hey, we love the house." You know what I mean? Like
a postcard, like kind of like a
literally like a letter. You know what I mean? Like a letter with us and a picture of us and the dog and everything. And we're just like, you know what I mean? Kind of soften it up a bit. You know what I mean? Soften it up. So we're just like, "Hey, we love the house. It has beautiful charm. Beautiful layout. We'd love to take it off your hands if you're looking to get rid of it." And most of the time, we're looking for like distressed homes, like that house. Of course, that house is distressed, and by distressed, I mean like
what does that mean? Yeah.
That just means like. It needs work, you know what I mean? It's not like a move-in ready house like you live in, you know what I mean? No. It's like old, needs cosmetic, might need plumbing, you know what I mean?
There's a reason it's not
There's a reason there's a not on the market, exactly. Yeah. So in that way, if it's not on the market, you can avoid like realtor fees and stuff like that. Realtor fees can be super expensive, like 3% on each side. So 6% in realtor fees, that's a lot. So you try to avoid that and go on the side and do it off market. That's the way we found the best way to get deals and everything like that. So people are going to take that and run with it, dude, but it's all right. So, so once you find the house and everything like that, and for funding and stuff like that, it just depends on if the bank will lend it to you. That's definitely like the preferable way to go. You know what I mean? You want to have a bank lend you the money because they're going to give you either conventional or FHA approved loan. So this is going to get kind of confusing.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not going to know, but I'm definitely
I got you. So So
you said you want it to be, so you want to get a loan from the bank.
From the bank, that's preferred to do it. And a lot of banks.
And this loan is to purchase the property.
Yes. And a lot of banks aren't going to lend you money on a house that needs like that much work that we did over there.
Yeah.
They just won't approve it because it's like unsafe. You know what I mean? They're only going to approve on a house that's like this and stuff. Unless it's cosmetic fixes. Cosmetics are no problem. So a bank will lend you on an ugly house. It's not a big deal. But if the house is literally falling over, they're not going to lend you money on it. You know what I mean? Because it's unsafe. So Shoreline, we were able to get conventional.
What's conventional?
So conventional is just like a 5% loan, a 5% down payment. 5%. So let's say you buy a house for $100K. Make it easy terms.
Okay.
100K, 5% down payment on 100K would be what? 5,000? Am I right? So 5,000 would be your down payment. Plus you got to do closing costs.
Wait, no, is that 5,050?
No, it has to be 5,000. Yeah, it's 5,000.
5,000. Okay.
So 5,000.
Quick math.
No, you're okay. Yeah, quick math, dude. I was tripping too. I was like, is that right, dude? I'm sounding like an idiot on this podcast. No, so you got to do your 5% on the conventional. I think you can also do a 3% conventional. I don't want to sound like an idiot, but we did 5%. And then you got closing costs, title fees, everything like that. Usually that comes in with closing costs. So usually just what that is like you hired an escrow team.
A what team?
So escrow, no, it's just like so you go through escrow. It's like a title company. So the title company does like all the closing work for you.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a third party.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so exactly. It's just like a third party and everything like that. And on a normal purchase, it's always going to be like that. You always get a title company. You're always going to close like that and everything like that in a normal purchase. The good thing that we do is this: we don't have to pay the realtor fees. We avoid it. So that's like 6%. That's a lot of
everything.
Yeah. So like 6%, that'd be an extra $6,000 we'd have to pay. So we avoid all of that. But the way we had to do this house, because it was unlendable by a bank.
So yeah, so you say usually you guys would prefer to go through a bank, they give you the money, and then you go from there. But for this house, you couldn't do that, right?
So this house, we couldn't do that. So we had to do a thing called hard money lending.
Hard money lending.
And that's a little bit riskier, bro. That comes into risky business.
Where does that come from?
So basically, what hard money lending is it's like a business or a person or somebody. They're giving you cash up front. You know what I mean? They're not giving you like a loan.
So it's not through a bank.
It's not through a bank. I can't guarantee it's not through a bank.
It could be.
It could be. I'm just not going to quote myself because I'm not 100% sure. But it's somebody who has the...
What does it usually come from, the hard...
It's like somebody who has the whole cash. Like they're going to give you all the cash like to buy the house.
So that could be an individual. It could be a business.
Yeah, exactly. It could be an individual business. And the terms are always going to be way worse than buying a house, conventional or FHA. So like your interest... Right now, interest rates are bad. That's why prices go down. Yeah. But on a conventional loan, your interest rate is going to be very normal, decent. You know what I mean? On a hard money loan... You're not looking at normal, bro. You're looking at expensive, dude. So, yeah, we had to do that place. But the thing is, you try to calc those numbers, and you got to be good at calculating your numbers.
So that's where your wife comes in, right?
That's where she comes in handy.
Accounting and
all that stuff. So you got to be good at it. You got to be quick about it because, like, finding these deals and finding these people, bro, it's hard to find them. So, like, once you find them,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you find someone that's going to give you like $100,000 for this house?
Okay. Yeah. So, I'll do that too. So the way we found the shoreline house. There, you're good, bro.
I'll move this chair.
You're all good, bro. So the way we found shoreline is we dropped off that note, and then the lady hit us up.
Where do you guys So you say who do you drop that note off to?
Just on the doorsteps or in the mailboxes or whatever like that.
But like to the person that owns the property.
Technically, if they're there, or whoever's living there or whatever.
Let's say for this place, how do you do that? Like,
so
there's no one living in there. So do you have to find the owner of it?
That's me and my wife. We've gotten really good at this, dude. And I'm gonna toot my own horn just for this because this was a battle, bro. Finding this guy
for this house?
Oh man, it was crazy. Because you got to think about this, dude. We live in a development, and somebody probably wanted to buy that house at some point to develop on it. That's what I'm guessing. And they didn't hit him up. So this guy, I did like backtrace him on White Pages, which is like a public search site. You can find people. So there was 3 people who were the potential owners of this house.
Potential.
Yeah. So I had to drive. There was a guy who lived in Camino Island. I drove all the way to Camino to the address they had, knocked on his door, and I said, "You own that house over there?" And they said, they were actually the original owners though. Like in the 60s, they lived there. And he was like, "No, we grew up there, but we don't own it." And then there was like an investment firm, and then there was this guy, and he moved to Cali. And my sister lived in Cali.
No way.
Dude, it was a whole thing, dude. I'm telling you. So I told my sister, because he wouldn't answer the phone either. So I told my sister, I was like, "You live close to this spot, right? Can you just drop off this note for me at this guy's house?" And she's like, "Yeah." So then figured out he didn't live there. So I had to do more research.
How do you, which website? Like, are you on the dark web?
No, dude, we're doing everything. Social media, everything, bro. Like, so
it's a hassle.
It's like, my wife is so good at it, but like, I'm getting a little bit better, but she is insane at it. So we ended up finding this guy. His name just like slipped through the cracks on like Google or something like that.
Really?
And it was like Corey. And we're like, "Oh, Corey's on there, dude." So we figured out he lived in like Tennessee at this point. Crazy stuff. And then I called him. It was a 10-second phone call. I was like, "Hey, can I buy your house in Lake Stevens? Foreclosed on me 10 years ago." Click. So then I was
Wait, he said what?
So he said the house foreclosed on him 10 years ago. So dude, it's hard because that's a whole nother thing. But so I had to call this guy and convince him that he can legally sell me the house. So I literally went to lawyers. I went to like the title company. I went everywhere. They knew me at the county office because I was there like every day. And I was like, "Does this guy own this house? Like, can he sell me this house legally?" And they were like, "He owns that house. Yes, he can."
Wait, the Corey guy?
Corey guy who lives in Tennessee.
Didn't he say, so he hung up on you in 10 seconds?
So he hung up on me in 10 seconds. So I was thinking I needed all the ammunition I can get to prove to this guy that he can sell me this house.
Because what did he say again?
So he answered the phone. He literally, like, it was a 10-second phone call. He answered it and he said, I was like, "Hey, just doing my spiel, like, "Hey, my name's Logan. I'd like to buy the house, And then he was like, "Foreclosed on me 10 years ago."
What does that mean?
So that just means he thinks like the bank took it over. He can't sell it. He doesn't own it no more.
Oh.
But what he didn't know was the bank has been paying on his behalf for 14 years, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
What is this guy doing?
Exactly, dude. So, I mean, anybody who's gonna call anybody from 14 years ago and think that they could sell a house is like astronomically like unbelievable. You know what I mean?
So he was like, no, it's not happening.
Exactly. You know what I mean? He probably just thought it was like some scammer, bro.
Probably got some like flashbacks from
100%.
getting kicked out of the house or something.
Like fuck that house, dude. No, but yeah. And then so I literally called him and I just said, "Don't hang up, don't hang up." And I said, I got all this proof, and if I'm wrong, I'll pay you $1,000 just because I don't want to waste your time. And he was like, okay. So we like went down the rabbit hole a little bit, you know what I mean? I got lawyers on the phone, and he got lawyers on the phone, and like we figured it out and everything like that. And then,
but you said the bank has been paying on his behalf.
So that was a really weird scenario. So he had kind of like a deed of trust, and I think it has. I don't know for sure because it's a really weird scenario, but I think he was military. And I think because he was military, I don't know for sure, but they may have been paying on his behalf because of that. So that's how we got that place. They were paying on his behalf. We had to give him an offer because he collected so much interest. It had to be over what he, for it to make sense and everything. But it ended up working out, and then we got that one, and that one was crazy, bro. So
how long did that whole thing take? From the time you found this place, from the time you decided you wanted it, and then to the time that you finally legally got it.
So that whole process, probably because we found it and everything, it probably took us a month to get all the finances and everything available. And then we bought it. And then for working on it, if we didn't get red tagged, I don't know if you remember that, we got in trouble over there. So we got red tagged for like 2 months.
For what was it?
We were doing like additional framing that we didn't pull permits for. We just didn't know, like, that was a learning curve for us. So, like, next time we'll pull permits. We just didn't know.
Oh, you guys just didn't know? Yeah,
we didn't know because we just thought it wasn't going to be that bad, but it was that bad. So
what was it? What were you guys doing?
We took it down to the studs. Like, it was the whole thing, man. Like, it was, like, a lot.
And
like,
how did they find out that you were doing this?
Because we had to call in inspections because the plumbing needed to be reworked and the electrical. So there's no hiding it from the city. Like they were going to be there.
Hide it.
Yeah, they were going to be there regardless. Yeah. So they came, red tagged us. That put us 2 months behind. So the whole process took us 6 months in renovation time, 1 month in negotiation, and closing. If we close this deal,
negotiation was the finding this place and talking to that guy.
You had to negotiate with him. So that was like a month of closing. And then if we close on this house, it's usually a month. So it'd just be like another 1 month from now. So the whole process, probably, 7? So 8 months in total. 8 months. Yeah. So it was crazy. It probably would have been 2 months faster if we didn't get red tag.
Did the red tag.
But it's a learning curve, bro. I'll get him on the next one, bro.
Next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so, wow. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. All this just going to this guy, going to that guy.
Yeah,
talk to this guy. And that's what you were talking about. Like, all that stuff gets so draining, and you got to have the stress tolerance for it.
Oh, it's so hard, man. I got to say this one story, dude. This one guy,
go ahead.
This young kid, because we found the spot in Linwood. We wanted it so bad because we knew, like, nobody lives here. Somebody will sell it. It's not a big deal. Dude, it was a young kid. He inherited it from his dad. He was 22, and there was, like, no way to get a hold of him. He wasn't on anything, dude. Like, we couldn't find him in anything, but he was 22. We knew he was young. So we're like, you know what? Maybe this dude's got a TikTok, bro. No joke, dude.
When was this?
This was before we found this house, but that deal ended up falling through. It's all right. That deal ended up being a bad deal.
No, keep going.
Yeah, so we found him on TikTok, bro. And we messaged him on TikTok to, like, say, hey, man, are you so-and-so? Do you own the house in Linwood? And he was like, yeah. And no, sometimes you just gotta go crazy and just go detective. Like, if you know something makes so much sense that it, like, has to work, then it just works. Because, like, that dude, like, he didn't live here for 14 years. He could care less about that house. You know what I mean? And, like, all I had to do was convince him, because it made no sense for him to not do it.
Exactly.
If it made sense for him to not do it, like, oh, I'm gonna move there back in like a year, that makes sense. Then I'd be like, all right, no problem.
No, dude's not even paying for the house.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been 14 years. So for him, like, it just made absolutely no sense to me, because my wife was ready to give up on it. And I was like, it just makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
So I
didn't give up on it.
Yeah, I didn't give up. I just had to do it. But if something made sense, I'm like, oh, okay, I just give up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just be like, whatever. But, you know, I try to maybe sell them on it, but, you know, it just made no sense. So I was like, all right.
And then what happened with the Linwood guys on the TikTok?
he told me he was working with a different investor who was going to buy it and everything too. And I was trying to convince him though hard. I was like, bro, like, let's just make the deal. I love the property, da da da. And he was just like, no, I'm already pretty far with this guy. I'll just do it with this guy. But apparently that house is doing bad. So that guy got.
Yeah.
That guy got.
He didn't pick the right guy.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I mean, he was bragging about it, but what happened?
But yeah, no, that's kind of how it works, man. You just got to do a lot of deep diving, and you got to kind of just be persistent, dude. Persistent. It's hard, man. Like you said, it's an emotional mind game, bro. Like finding the people. Like there's a lot of emotional mind games, man. It's crazy. So it's wild.
But so back into that question that I had about how you get the investments for the properties. So you said for this one, because you couldn't go through the bank, you would have to go. It was called a hard
money lender.
Hard money lender. Okay, so you would go through that, and for that, you said you would either have to find a business that would trust you, or a person, or you said sometimes it could be banks.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure if it's banks and stuff like that, but yeah, hard money lending, dude. It's not preferred, man. But like, if there's no other options, because there's no other options.
It's like your last option. You would say.
If I found somebody who had stupid capital, like a friend or a family, like by that I just mean a ton of money. That's the only other option I'd really have. You know what I mean? Other than that, you don't really have anything. But you got to do your calcs and everything at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, how much is everything going to cost? Like, it's called a ARV value, after renovation value. So you got to make sure all your numbers, come out nice. You know what I mean? And you need enough profit for it to make sense. You know what I mean? So it'd be like, what am I worth at the end of this to be worth my time? Is it
all worth doing all this work for 8 months?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Like, if you're making like $2,000 at the end of it, what?
No, you don't want to do that, dude.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I try to do all these deals, and I want to, at worst case scenario, if like a 6-month project or 8-month project, I want to at least make 40 grand. Like
at least 40 grand.
That's like, if I don't do that, I will highly consider not doing it. Maybe, I mean, if it was like,
if I really
wanted it, I'd do it. And if it was like a 2-month turnaround cosmetics, I would definitely do it. You know what I mean? But if it's like a 6-month rebuild, I'm like 40 grand at least, bro. I don't want to talk a whole lot of numbers, but that's what like my break even, like if
40 grand at least profit.
At profit, yeah. So that's what I'm like, I don't want to do it unless it's that. So yeah.
Nice. And that's where like all the calculations and all that come in, and you gotta know what, like, because if I were to just do calculations, I'm like, does Home Depot have this little
dude? And it's funny because everyone you do, you learn more. Me and my wife are early in it, but we did our shoreline one, and we learned a lot.
Was that the first one?
That's the first one. Like we haven't done any more than shoreline in this one. That's just the beginning ones we've done. But I mean, you even think some things you don't even think about, like blinds, bro. Blinds are expensive to do. Put blinds in a whole house. It's like $1,500. You know what I mean? And that's just blinds, dude. And then you got to think like other things you got to do, like baseboard trim, dude. Like that's expensive. Like doors, closet pole holders. Like everything costs money, bro. Like when you really break it down,
you got to think about like plugs. You got to think about the smallest things.
You got to think about
like that little.
Yes, sir,
right
dude.
There for it.
Like door handle, like everything. So like because it kind of adds up, like when you don't do it, and then you start thinking like, you do your big cost first, electrical work, plumbing, you know what I mean? And then you start breaking it down.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You start just breaking it down. It's like, does this place need so-and-so, you know what I mean? Like, do you need like we had to do sod back there and everything too. So that was an extra cost. It's just like, there's so many things to break down, but you got to learn how to just do it quick. You know what I mean? Because these deals don't wait forever. You know what I mean?
I know that you got to work fast.
You got to work fast. So you got to kind of learn how to break it down quick and make the deal, Like if somebody were to meet me at a coffee shop and say, I'm going to give you this deal right now. This is the time you got to make to decide, you know what I mean? Like you got to kind of run your numbers quick and just be like, all right, if it's a deal or not. So that's just you get better and better at it. So still working at it.
Still working at it.
Yeah, dude, still working at it.
Of course, there's always room to get better.
There's always room to improve, dude. So.
But, so did you go to like a family member for this one or like?
For the funding and everything?
For the funding,
No, yeah. So this one was
all. Or did you come out of your pocket?
No, this one was all like hard money loans. So on top of them giving you the money to buy the house, they give you money to repair the house too. So, but you gotta it's hard because you gotta have like some money, and then they give you draws. You know what I mean? So it's like you say the debt cost me like 14 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So then they'll come out, inspect it, say, okay, here's your 14 grand back. And you just keep doing that.
Who does that? Who gives you who comes and inspect it? Like the investor?
Yeah. So the investor will do it. Like the hard money lender, they have like a team and they come out and they say like, okay, yeah, like this looks like it's done.
Are they pretty like easy to find, you would say? Like, can you go on the internet, search up hard money lenders?
Yeah, you could definitely do it because the thing is they want the crazy interest. You know what I mean? They want you to buy it, dude. So like this one
they are banks.
They are
basically banks.
Yeah. So you can type it in and find a lot, but you gotta kind of weed them out and see which ones have better rates and stuff like that because they will gouge you on prices, bro. They have no problem.
You found yours like on the internet?
Yeah, I think we found ours actually through the Paul guy.
Oh,
he's never used them before, but he just recommended them, and we were like, okay, they look legit. They were super easy to work with. Yeah, man, they were awesome. So if I had to do it again, I would probably use the same people again. They're easy.
That's good.
So yeah,
That's
they were
just
legit.
Knowing someone and just keep working with them.
They were legit, bro. So yeah, they were dope. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And then they just give you the money, or like let's say you like, oh, this thing is unexpected. They come look at it, and then they're like, here.
Sometimes it's hard because they only like when you run your numbers at first, they kind of want you to be like pretty accurate with your numbers.
So you guys, do you have to sell it to them? Is it like, because you're saying they want you to come and get their money, right?
Yeah.
But there's also, I'm thinking there's a process where you have to sell this project to them. You have to be like, yo, this is going to work. So the only reason they actually accepted us too is because they want to see you have some type of success in your background. Mm-hmm. So we just used that shoreline house and we were like, this is a rental, you know what I mean? This is what we bought it for. This is what it's worth. And they want to see like you're not an idiot, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I bought this house for $200K and it's only worth like 100. Like they want to see like you're smart with like your decisions and stuff. So in that beginning process, you know, even though we've only done one before prior, they wanted to see like, okay, this is what you bought it for. This is what it's worth. You know, like you guys know what you're doing at least to some degree. So we'll lend you the money. So you kind of do have to sell them. Like if you were just some Joe Schmo who walked up, they'd probably either give you some crazy rate and just be like, good luck. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know? Or they'd just be like, no, we can't approve you because, you know, you have no experience or background. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So the Shoreline place came in clutch.
Yeah, Shoreline place came in hella clutch. I love that place. We just had a new tenant over there. I love that place, bro.
So how did that place happen? You guys did it through the same way of, what did you do for that place? Because you didn't do a rebuild, did you?
Yeah, no. So that one was a lot of work, but it wasn't that work. It was like a small rambler. We just dropped the note off on the door and some older woman, her mom.
So again, stalking the person.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Sending the note.
Yeah, sending the note. So some older woman's mom actually passed away, and she was like, yeah, I just want to get rid of it. I don't want any lawyers. I don't want any real estate agents. And I was like, no problem.
Perfect.
Yeah, no problem, you know? So, no, we ended up closing on that, and that one was just like a really big, like a cosmetic. It was just super ugly. So, because the bank lent us money on that one.
Oh yeah,
because it's livable, it's habitable. Like you saw that house, bro. Like you couldn't live in the house, bro.
You
you'd be dead in that house, bro. So no, like if the house is habitable and the bank makes sense for them, they could lend you on it. But if it's not, they're not going to do it.
What's usually like the what do you say, the interest rates for the banks?
Ooh, so when we did that, we got a good rate and everything around like 3%, around 3%, I believe. Not 100% sure.
And is that like, so they say, let's say 3%, and then is that on every like payment? I just don't really know how that works.
So they have you at like, you can do your terms and stuff. You can pick like a 30-year term, 15-year term, 10-year term. And then like, I don't know for sure, but I think the average is like 30. Most people go with 30-year term because I think it's like the cheapest monthly. So then they just tack that on your total. And then that interest, you pay a lot of interest throughout the years and everything to pay off in total. So I want to say it's on your grand total and stuff so
like at the end of the 3 years, at the end of the 30 years, it's like you paid 3% more.
You paying 3% possibly. I don't know, man. I never thought of it.
Like
I don't know,
every single payment.
I think they tack it on every payment, but then on top of your payments, they also include, because I'm thinking you have a principal, and then you have your interest, you have your PMI, which is like mortgage insurance and everything like that too. It's a whole thing, but it's like, so you got a whole lot of things tacked onto it. So I'm not exactly sure if it's monthly or on the term of the loan. Mm-hmm. So I'm not 100% sure.
So for you guys, like, since when you get the money, so do you just pay it off right away? Or do you guys keep it going for like a long time?
We just keep it going. But the thing is, it has to make sense. Like when we first rented it out, we rented it out for it just paying the mortgage. Mm-hmm. But now since our new tenant's in there and rent prices have gone up, now we're making some money on the side. So yeah, so now we're making money. So it's nice. So before, I mean, the good thing is the house will continue to rise in value and someone's paying our mortgage. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not really a lose-lose, even though we're not.
It's literally like a winning investment.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, as long as they're covering the mortgage, that was fine. And now somebody's giving us passive income.
We're making
and
more.
We're doing. So now we're actually working somewhere. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you kind of just got to do that.
That's with rent, right?
Yeah, that's with rent.
With selling it like you're doing with this one, it's a little different, right?
It's a little different, yeah. So, on this one, yeah. So when you look at selling the houses, the cost that you come out with is going to be your renovation costs, which that one was hella expensive. So renovation costs, you got your realtor fees, which is 6% average. You can do more or less or whatever. It just depends on the agents and everything. Then you got capital gains if you're making money and everything. So you got to pay capital gains. And then there's excise tax on all that stuff. Let me think. Excise, capital gains, realtor fees, renovation costs. That's basically like the way to look at it and everything. So when you go to sell your house, that's what you're looking at. If you lose money, you don't have to pay capital gains. Yeah, so you're not gaining nothing. Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of the cost associated with selling the house. So on top of running all your numbers for renovation in the very beginning too, you also have to put on your, you know what I mean, realtor fees, excise tax, all that stuff. So the very beginning, before this whole 8-month process starts, you got to run all those numbers and you got to hope you're doing good, bro. So that's the thing. And then the market now has done a little bit of a dip. So it's like we were expecting to even make more money off of that house. So we didn't get exactly as much as we thought we were going to get. But I mean, we're not losing the time.
It's still like...
Yeah. We're still doing all right. So yeah, dude. So it's still pretty good and everything too. So, but that is kind of lucky because a lot of investors right now are losing money. So I'm happy, dude. Yeah. So we made out all right.
So one thing, like, I just don't know. It might seem like a simple question.
Totally fine. Ask it.
So like, when you sell this house, how much money like comes like? Because I know the guy that is probably buying it or whoever's buying it, they're probably going to do a mortgage on it, right? Most likely, and they're not going to give you all the money right away. So like, how does that work? Like, do you get just the big chunk of the entire like worth, like, or how do you get paid?
Yeah. So we owe the hard money lender because they gave us the initial investment. So
do they give you also the money for repair, or do they just give you the money to buy the property?
Yes, they give us the money for repair too. And so that money has to be paid back before we pay ourselves. Yeah. So I'll make it like this. So like $100K they lent us, $50K in renovation. We're at $150. We sell the house for $3, so we're paying them back $150. And then we still have $150 in total. But then after that, you got to pay your realtor fees, excise tax, you know what I mean? All that stuff. All right. So you'd have to pay all that stuff back. And that's when you get your final amount. So you don't get all of it back. You have to pay the principal amount of money you owe on the house. Yes. Plus renovations and everything too.
But like, so when you sell it, does just like $720K go to your account? Like, how does it work? Like, or... How does that work?
I don't think the whole money goes into our account. I think like when the title company, because this would be my first sell, honestly, bro. So this would be my very first sell. So I think how it is the title company won't allow, all of the 720. Like they won't be like, all right, now you're going to Guatemala and you're out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think they will say like, you have to pay this. You're not going to get that whole money back. So they're going to make us say, yeah, you got to pay this off before you get this money back. So they're only going to give us a chunk of change for like, you know what I mean? After we pay back the hard money lender, because they're gonna.
So first you gotta, but do they give you that amount that you need to pay to the people you owe money to first, or no?
You mean like the whole like 725?
So no. So let's say you owe like $200K, right? Mm-hmm. So do they give you $200K and then you pay that and then they give you the rest, or then
we divvy it out to like the real estate agents and everything like that too? Is that kind of what you're asking? Shoot. I don't know, man. That'd be kind of cool. No, I think because everything's like when it comes to real estate and everything, investments, it's all like written contracts. So I'm sure that when we go to sell, everyone's going to take their cut before we get our cut. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm sure of it. I'm sure that the real estate agent's going to get paid before they give us a check for like how much we get at the very end.
So your check comes like after they'll subtract everything.
Yep.
and then they'll give you a check, and that check will be like whatever's left, right?
Yeah, and we can directly put it in our bank account.
Okay.
Yeah, and then right after that, we just put it right in the bank or whatever. Or we can have it transferred or whatever.
Okay.
So that's how. Yeah. So that's how it works. And then the only thing I don't think you have to pay up front is going to be your capital gains or losses, because of course that comes at the end of the year, which you got to then you file. Yeah, then you file, and that's how that works and everything. So no, man, there's a lot to take in, bro. Like
I know.
There's a lot to learn, man. Like it's a lot to learn, man.
I know.
Like my wife, she knows like if a house is pending, like in this neighborhood or like down the block or anywhere in Snohomish County, she like knows about it, dude. Like she's like has her eye on the market. Like it's crazy. She's on it, dude. Like she knows all about it. It's nuts, dude. But like you kind of just got to know, dude. You just,
how did she get into it? Because did you kind of like get her into it, or was she already like into that?
She loves the design side of it, so she loves like making everything like look legit how she likes and everything, you know. So like a lot of everything like finish work over there was like her decisions. Yeah, like the fireplace, furniture, islands, and stuff like that. So she loves that side of it, and it's good because I'm like the rough side in, and she's like the finish side in. So it's like it works out. Perfect. Yeah, it's perfect, dude. So it's like we make a really, really, really good team. So yeah, and she'll like help me out wherever she can. Like if it's dirty, like she'll come and clean and stuff like that. And it's like, even though she doesn't know how to do everything, like that's a lot to ask for. Yeah,
doing whatever she can.
Doing whatever she can, man. So it's awesome having her for sure, dude. She's so hella helpful, bro.
That's super cool.
Couldn't do it without her, dude.
And when did you get? So are you guys right now? Do you guys own your? Because you live just right down there, right?
Yeah, so we own that place over there too. So that's actually how we got our feet into the game, because we bought that house. And then, so you can do this thing. So a lot of terminology, bro. It's a lot to take in. But I was gonna say,
I'll soak it in.
Yeah, dude. So this thing called a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit. And basically what that means is like, HELOC. Yeah, it's a cool word. So basically what that means is your house has gained equity, and you can take equity out of your house without selling it. So like, let's say probably your house, you know what I mean? You live here. I don't know what they bought it for. It's all good, dude. But if it's worth like 100 and now it's worth 200, then you can say, okay, you can take out that extra money that it's worth now.
You can take the 100.
Yeah, you can take the extra 100 now, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can travel the world if you want, dude.
Pay the mortgage.
You do whatever you want. Well, you couldn't pay the mortgage because it'd be like the money, it would never like add up equally, but you can just do whatever you want. And I would highly not suggest doing anything other than anything else that makes you money because it can get really risky. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather just put it in an investment and something like that, but you can do.
How do you get a HELOC? Like, is that like a contract you do?
Yeah, that you can get through like mostly any banks. And like if you were to Google HELOCs, man, like HELOCs are widely available. Like Wells Fargo does HELOCs, Bank of America does HELOCs, like everyone does HELOCs and stuff like that too. And you don't just, there's like other ways to do it, like cash out refis and stuff like that too. You can get money back from the equity in your home.
and like, what happens if you blow all that?
Oh, if you blow all that, it just means basically,
so if you take that money out, will your house be worth less now?
It's not. Your house isn't technically worth less. So your house is still worth what it's worth. But when you go to sell your house,
you won't be able to get.
You won't be able to get that money because you already took it out. You know what I mean? You already took it out. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you were to take it out, you gotta be careful with it. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure you use it right.
Take like, let's say you took all of it, all the equity so far, right? Mm-hmm. Would there still be adding equity as time goes?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like the house, let's say $500K, and then like 10 years from now, it's worth 700. You'd still make that money in equity,
but you still take that out?
Yeah, you can still take that out and everything like that too. So yeah, it's real estate's cool, dude.
Should everyone do that with every house?
It's hard because you also have to pay a monthly fee on it too. So on top of you taking the money out,
that's the cash, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You can't just take the cash and run with it and everything like that. They charge you like monthly. So if you're gonna invest it properly, then yeah.
So but did you do that?
Yeah, that's how we bought that. That's how we bought the first Shoreline house, and then we used the money from the Shoreline house to buy this house. So it's kind of like a lot of like investors, you like hear like interviews and stuff. It's like once you like get the first place, the rental, then you can get equity from that rental and then do this rental. It's like a snowball effect. Yeah, exactly, dude. And then you can just keep on going. So
take notes.
Yeah, dude. So long-term rentals are nice because like you said, they keep gaining equity. People are paying your mortgage. That's awesome. So that's like a very long-term goal. Almost we'll call it a blue whale stock. stock. And just what that means is like
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, like everything that's going to keep going up.
Blue chip stocks.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking. Blue chip. Dude, you know better than me, dude.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what long-term rentals look like to me. And then if you're going to do like a flip, that's just you taking out a lot of capital at once. It's like, if I could rent that place out and we were on a hard money term, I'd definitely 100% do it. You know what I mean? Like
we have to pay people.
We have to pay people. We have to make stuff work, and we'll still get paid. But if you can,
it would have been better.
If you can keep a long-term rental, I would always suggest keeping a long-term rental. That's what I'm saying. Or if the market's right, short-term rental, Airbnbs and everything like that too. Those are hot. So yeah, dude, Airbnbs. You just gotta get the right area. That's all. So we've tried Leavenworth and stuff like that too, but they're cracking down, and yeah, it's hard to get an Airbnb in Leavenworth. So.
Of course, I mean,
yeah, dude.
Probably hella competitive.
Yeah, it's just hard, dude. It's hard.
How's the competition in your niche?
Oh man, it's rough, bro. Like, it's a little different now because the market's done a shift. But like when it was hot, man. Oh man, like me and Jessica, like that's why we switched to off market, because if you went to like Redfin, how we're selling this house right now, when the hot market was like 8 months ago, you'd show up to a property, dude. They were like, you'd think you're early, dude. You're like the last one there, bro. Like there's hella people there, and it's just like. With a hot market, it's going to be super hard. Like what's it called? So that's like a seller's market. Sellers make the narrative. You know what I mean? Like I want $60K, no inspections, and they'll get that. But right now it's more of like it's not even really a buyer's market. It's kind of a limbo right now. It's kind of bad for everybody. but no, the competition is rough, bro. Like there's a lot of competition. It's hard, man. It's hard. And people are willing to outbid you. People have all cash. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
People have the stories, you know, it's just like.
That's so crazy.
Hard,
my dad was trying to get a property, and like, it just seemed like every time someone's either putting in a higher offer, they're coming in with cash.
No inspections, just like there's always somebody, like especially with investing. Yeah, it's hard. Like it's rough, man. But now it's changed a little bit now, so it's a little bit easier. Like you could probably even go on the market and maybe find I don't know. Prices are still pretty high right now, but it's coming down. So like that's what we're gonna do after we sell this place. Is we might take a little bit of a break from flipping, because right now flipping is maybe not the move, because it's like your returns won't be that great. But then once it hits its low, you pile up as much as you can, bro. If you buy like six houses.
So I'm guessing right now it's with that ideology you're like stacking up on stocks.
Yeah, or I'm even trying to wait till stocks bottom out even a little bit too. And even more, bro. I'm going for it. And it's funny too, because somebody said this to me. They were like, remember that hot market? Like everyone's on Doge, Bitcoin, everything like that. And like even like your grandma or grandpa would be like, how do you get this Doge? And someone was like, dude, if your grandma's asking you about Doge, it's too late, bro. Like it's too high. Don't buy right now.
Don't buy.
Buy it when it's boring, bro, and it's low. No one's talking about it. Yeah, that's when you want to get it. Like when it's like not hot. You want it when it's not hot, because it's when it jumps up, bro. It might take a while, but then you're gonna be making some money.
They're saying in like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I can see that. That's what I think with real estate too. It'd probably take like 2-3 years for it to kind of bounce back up.
So if you were to give some advice right now, not financial advice, but good advice.
Yeah.
So what would you say right now is like the best place to invest? Like
right now,
what do you?
It's hard for me because my buddy is a really big stock guy. I'm way more into real estate. But if I was to give you where to invest right now, I'd say this is just gonna be a real estate guy, from a real estate guy, not from a stock guy. I would say wholesaling real estate right now would probably be my best bet, and I think that's what we're gonna do too. So wholesaling is like you just find the deal and you find a middle. You are the middleman.
Oh, you're the middleman.
But you take, like, let's say I find this house for $400. Somebody wants to buy for $500, but I found it. So I just say, yeah, man, give me the extra $100. You could take it off your hands. You know what I mean? So I didn't do any work. You know, all I did was find the deal. And then if that other person buys it for that, I just get the...
But that's probably really competitive, huh?
That's extremely competitive and stuff. But the good thing is me and my wife are good at finding the deals. So as long as we can find the deals and then they make sense to other people, that's all that really matters. Because we can find the deals, but there's a lot of wholesalers out there, dude. So, but I think for right now, wholesaling is the best move, in my opinion. Wholesaling. Maybe long-term rentals and wholesaling. Yeah.
Long-term rentals.
Flipping? No. Flipping? Not right now. Not right now. Nope. What
would this be? This project?
This is a flip. This one right here. This is a flip. So yeah, Airbnbs and flips right now, I wouldn't touch them right now. But when the prices get low enough, I would touch them again. Not in a weird way. But yeah, dude. So yeah, that's kind of wholesaling and long-term rentals for sure.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like everything is low right now, like with the stock market. And I got into it like when it was kind of starting to go up, remember? That's when I got into it and I made a good amount of money, but I never sold. Sold. And I still have it to this day.
Yeah,
I'm still holding.
The bag, dude. Holding the bag. Diamond hands, bro.
Still holding.
I feel you. I was in the same mix, bro. Like I said, I don't know a ton about stocks, but I was like all the AMC and all that, bro. I was so into it. And I was like, bro, make hella money, dude. But the thing was, I don't know a whole lot about it and stuff. So like, I just kind of like bought it while it was hot. You know what I mean?
Me neither.
Yeah. So
I'm just literally, I feel like it's so, you could definitely go ahead and like overcomplicate it. To me, it's just like in monkey terms: stock, buy, hold, up, sell.
Yeah, dude.
So simple, you know.
No, for sure.
I don't know much. That's just how I do, though. You know what I'm saying?
My buddy, he's really into stocks, and I was asking him all the questions during that time, and he's so like, he's hella smart, bro. Like he'll hit me like with a technical chart, like, oh, I don't even know the terms, bro, but he's like sending me like crazy pie charts and
essay with charts.
And I'm like, what are you saying to me, bro? Like, what are you saying? But he was always telling me like, nah, man, like, don't do it. It's like, trust me, bro. And I was like, yeah, right, bro. It's hot.
Like when it was hot, he was telling you don't do it.
Yeah, when it's hot, he was telling me don't do it. And the same thing he kind of told me with real estate too, like with the market. He's kind of more of an extremist and everything too, but he was kind of right because like prices now are dropping, but they're not like extreme as he thought. He's like, dude's gonna crash, bro. But it's like, you know, prices are going down a bit, so. But yeah, it's just like, I feel like you kind of got to know what you're doing a little bit more in stocks than people think, honestly. I think just to be like really successful at it, but you can dabble in it and make some money and stuff. It's like, because a lot of people call it gambling, but it's more of like I think it's more of like a educated.
It's gambling if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's more of like a educated gambling, if you will. You know what I mean? Like
it's returning like 10% every year.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's like on the average, right? And it's, if you look at the whole chart, it's just up. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's downs, but overall,
yeah, exactly.
It's an up.
100%. Like versatile stocks are really risky and stuff, like penny stocks and stuff like that. That's risky. I would still do it.
Those
though.
are
Why
plays.
Not, dude?
Those are plays.
Why not, dude? Throw a 20 on it, dude. Hopefully make a G. Why not, dude? You know what I mean?
Okay, one thing. So this is a different question.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about keeping money in the bank right now?
Dude, that's a really, really, really good question. Holy smokes. So yeah, me and my wife, like once we sell this place, we're like, we're going to have a bunch of money. Like, what do we want to do? I don't want to just leave my money in the bank. You know, it's not even making any money. Like, we're not making money off our money, you know? So I've seen some places are charging or like giving back like 4 APY. I'm not even sure what APY stands for. I just know it means you get money back.
Yeah.
So I'm like 4%. Like I think banks are like charging like.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
There's this bank. It's like I forgot the name. This guy was telling me about it.
Yeah.
He was saying on average they give 3 to 4% back.
Yeah. And I mean, like, dude, that's so much better than like traditional banking. Yeah. I think if traditional banking savings is like
you get 1 cent
something, it's terrible, bro. So it's like you have all this money. It's like I would, if it was me, I would either hold it until I'm confident in a blue chip or something like that being low, and then it will just, you know, go up once stuff goes hot, or just keep it somewhere with a good return. You know what I mean? But I don't want to put my money back into savings, dude. I don't, dude. Honestly. Yeah.
Or you know, one thing for me, since I'm younger,
yes sir,
I just blow it on good things,
hey,
like traveling, or like just buying things that will give me an experience. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, like I don't have bills.
Yeah.
I don't have expenses. I don't have things like that. So, and I'm like, okay, if I keep my money in the bank and just keep saving my little change that I'm making from like a minimum wage job, that's not gonna make any sense. Because I know in the future that's gonna be literally like a dinner for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just saying, I'll use that to like travel places, to see different things. Do you think that's a good thing? No,
I definitely do. Yeah, dude. Like even though I work super hard and everything like that too, I try to treat myself. You know what I mean? Like now we're going to Mexico. I don't know. Like now we're going to Mexico. Usually every time we're done with like a project, we'd like do a vacation. You know what I mean?
How long are you going to be going for?
Like 10 days. 10 days. Oh, dude, I'm out, bro. I'm like, I need some sun.
You need some sun.
I need some sun, dude.
Look outside,
no, you got to treat yourself, bro. And like you said, like being young, man, you want to live the experiences and stuff like that too, and everything too. I say being young, dude. We're like not too far apart, but you know what I mean?
Like, you're still going for drops. Yeah. I thought you were too old for for that.
Yeah, dude. So no experiences, man. Do all you can, bro. Like all like my friends and family and stuff, like they're like, oh, I'm gonna move, I can't leave my friends and family. I'm like, do what you do, bro. Like live your life. It's your life,
Go to
bro.
Thailand. Live on
dude.
$10.
Yes, sir, dude. Yo, do it, man. Yeah, you only live once, man. Like it's having cancer, bro. Life's too short, bro. Do what you gotta do,
that's
man.
That's a strong lesson, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Drop it, dude. You gotta live life, bro. You got one life, dude, and it's short, dude. Like it'll come at you fast, bro. You gotta just live life, dude.
Of course. Wow, I think this has been an amazing one.
Hey, thanks, bro.
What a way to start the podcast. So let's end it right here. Let's give some last words. Any last advices you got for anybody that could be listening? Anyone, because my people that are going to be listening are probably going to be around my age.
Yeah, for sure.
Or anybody that's watching, like any last words?
I would just say kind of like we touched on, like if you have plans, you don't have to let your friends, your family know, everybody like that. Just kind of try to execute. You know what I mean? Don't just be like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Figure out ways to do it. You know what I mean? That's all, kind of just like make the steps, talk to the right people. You know what I mean? Figure out ways to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like you can figure out, if you really, really want to do something, you can figure it out how to do it. You know what I mean? Don't always take no for an answer. You know what I mean? Like there might be other ways around it. You know what I mean? Just if you are thriving and you really want to do something, just put in the extra work to actually execute and do it. That's about it.
All right, my man.
Hey,
I appreciate everything. I appreciate you coming here today.
Appreciate you.
It's been so awesome.
Yes, sir, man.
So good.
Thank you.
I think this is going to be a banger. That first one is going to be a banger.
Right on. I hope so, brother.
All right, man. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.